Welcome to another season of Apex Online Racing. It's Race 1, Season 7, Tier 6. We're down at Paul Ricard. All the cars are fired up. It's going to be a fun one. As always, Apex Online produces some close racing all over the grid, and I cannot wait to see what this season brings. So without further ado, let's go see how qualifying went. After a close qualifying, Marcus Deck was in pole position with a 154.207. On the front row with him was Arturas Medvedevs, 154.504. Luca Rena was in P3 with the 154.534. P4, Lance Taylor, 154.558. In P5, we had Alexander Fedotkin with the 54.675. Dominic Huber made it into P6 with the 54.702. Kakpa Smolinski, 154.774. P8 was Ben Hitchcock with 154.783. P9 was Daniel Hirsch, also in the 54s with the 54.801. Jack Lancaster runs out the top 10 with the 54.867. Filippo Agugliaro also did the 54.960 in 11th. And Jan Stevens in P12 with the 54.990. The first 55 was Dan Lees with the 55.011. P14 was Dejan Jokic. And in P15 we had James Thresh also in the 55s. P16 was Rob Jackson with the 55.092. Robert Fodor did a 55.167 in P17. P18 was Nicolas Mari with 55.209. Nino Holt with the 155.221 in P19. Claudio Voodoo did a 155.260 to put him in P20. Christian Zefau did a 55.410 in 21st. Dmitry Ogorodnikov did a 55.440. John Becker in 23rd did a 55.446. Kulakov Eugene did the 55.572 in P24. In P25 was Rico Grendler, also in the 55.5s. Christoph Witkowski in 26th did a 55.6. Sindri Ragnarsson 27th did a 55.683. Steph Carey did a 55.7 in 28th. Dami Ayo in 29th did a 55.767. In P30 was Domagoj Tanzatic 55.908. Thorsten Pren did a 56.085 in 31st, the first of the drivers in the 56s. Guillaume Reo did a 56.187. Phil Swiss did a 56.271 in 33rd. 34th was Gregor Franke with the 56.418. Piotr Wengel did a 56.472 in 35th. 36th was Oliver Nerb, the 56.772. Pablo Loro did a 56.820 in 37th. Noor Hendricks, repping South Africa, was the only driver in the 57s with the 57.675 in P38. This grid is covered by 3.5 seconds from start to finish, with potential for some very close racing ahead. I cannot wait to see how we begin. We join our pole sitter as we cross the start-finish line for the first time in this 7th season of Apex Online Racing. We're in Tier 6, and Marcus Deck is off. He leads the pack down the straight. There's Jenkin in the background. Taylor's made contact. There's contact between the first 4 cars. Taylor's wiped out someone. Taylor and Medvedevs are off the track. Marcus is having to totally cut the first corner to avoid any incidents. Looks like Renner's right behind him and Fedotkin behind them. What a horrible start to the race for P2 and P4. Marcus Deck will be very pleased that he managed to avoid most of that incident and he's away. He gets to try and pull a gap on everyone else as best he can. Looks like the 13's already in the pits. Meanwhile, Fedotkin is in P2, leading from Renner. And the pack comes around, approaching the Mistral Straight. We know the Mistral Straight. It's a famous straight. It's known for speed. If you have top speed and you have the right tools with you, you will make positions up here. Fedotkin trying to chase down Marcus Deck on that first lap. Renner in P3. Smolinski in P4 being chased down by Huber already. It's lap 2. It's Ben Hitchcock and Kasper Smolinski approaching Ben Hitchcock with the cut back into turn 1. Is he going to be able to make it work? Is he going to be first in the corner? Is he going to be able to make it stick through the complex of corners coming through? He's first. He's good enough on his brakes. They're side by side through turn 1. The 86 of Smolinski has the better line for turn 2. And it's a drag race down to the chicane really quickly. And, oh, there's an Aston Martin having a look in the background. Agugliaro trying to find a way through if he can. But it looks like Smolinski is up in front. A little rubbing, a little racing. And it looks like Smolinski makes that stick. James Thresh, however, on lap 3, battling with Lancaster. Lancaster in the Aston Martin, Thresh in the Ferrari. Ferrari coming up from behind. It's 3 wide down the Mistral Straight. The 115 going backwards. Jan Stevens losing position there. Maybe a slight disadvantage sometimes to lead the train down the Mistral Straight. James Thresh looks to have passed 2 cars with advantage of slipstream. Would you look at that Ferrari go? The prancing horse doing what the prancing horse does best, cars running wide as a result of the overtake. It's lap 4, it's Christian Zifau and Stephen Carey battling for position. Stephen Carey in the Porsche, the lone Porsche on grid. Pretty looking Porsche, I must say myself. He is up the inside, approaching the chicane. He's first to the corner. Dami Ayo trying to steam right through, backs out wisely. Stephen Carey makes that position, and Christian Zifau has to tuck in and try and get him back on the straight, I imagine. Meanwhile, he's got to defend from Dami Ayo behind him. This pack of cars look to have a nice, fun battle ahead of them. Meanwhile, on lap 4, it's Kakpa, Smolinski once more, and Ben Hitchcock. Ben Hitchcock trying once again to make that move work. I think this is deja vu. He is once again hard on the brakes into turn 1, first to the corner. He's first to turn 2. He's got the better run out this time around, and Ben Hitchcock makes the pass. Ben Hitchcock is through. And I think that position sticks this time around. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Agugliaro is going to try and hassle Smolinski for a position in front of him, and we'll see how that turns out. Oh, Agugliaro and James Thresh. Oh, my word. It looks like Smolinski is already past James Thresh once more. Agugliaro is trying up the inside. Is it going to be... I think Thresh has got the... Thresh is first to the corner. Thresh is first to the long right-hander. Thresh is still in there. Climbs up from P8 back to P7. Back and forth between these 3 drivers. Some good driving, but if these 2 keep battling, the car in front, Smolinski, will pull away. They have to work together to try and keep him in tow and then see what they can do throughout the race. The pack is forming behind him. There's James Thresh and Agugliaro. They did not listen to my advice. They're still battling for position. Fantastic driving from both of them. Fender to bumper. James Thresh leading from Agugliaro. He's got to keep his lines. Slightest mistake. Oh, no. Oh, no. Agugliaro spins him around. James Thresh has lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positions and counting 6, 7. It is unfortunate. He's stuck in the corner trying to find a way back into the race. He has lost at least 10 positions there. He will not be best pleased by that. Dropped from P7 all the way to what looks like P17. Oof. Dan Lees and Jan Stevens, meanwhile, on the Mistral Straight. Once again, it's a train of 2, 3 cars. Dan Lees pulls out. Think he's going to make it past Jan Stevens. Fordo also trying to pull alongside, but we know that Mercedes is vertically challenged on the Mistral Straights. He's going to tuck in and do better in the corners instead. But yes, the Audi is through on Jan Stevens. The Audi of Dan Lees is up to P9. He's first to the long right-hander. Jan Stevens has to tuck in behind and have a go on the next time around, I imagine. Agugliaro is meanwhile having a look at Lancaster, who he has to munch the curb to make it work. I wonder if that's a warning, but from the stewards, I mean, for cutting the track limits, but he's got to keep going. He's got to keep fighting forward. The 417 has run very wide. The 417 of Filippo has run very, very wide. He has let Lancaster through, and Lancaster's through. Lancaster's up to P7. Agugliaro drops 1 to P8. I think he's going to try and have a look back here, but there's not much doing, and I believe that Lancaster would have the better run out of there, and he does in his Aston Martin. Onto lap 10. Lancaster again having a look at Agugliaro. I do not think there's much to be done here. He's just trying to hold on for dear life. He's trying to get into the tow, so once more he can pull out. Because these cars are very similar. There's not too much of an advantage in top speed. His driving style and setups right now. Both of them have as much fuel as each other. There is not too much between them, and it looks like Lancaster is going to keep that position. In fact, he's going to be chasing down the cars in front. I see Smolinski is past the back marker in front. He's going to be eager to get past him as well. Meanwhile, James Thresh and Gregor Frank. Ooh, James Thresh is having a look at the battle up in front, trying to see if he can find any weaknesses in the cars ahead. While the 2 in front, Tunzatich and Frank are battling. Oh, no! Oh, no, the 21 has run wide. The 21 has run very wide. I believe that's a back marker. It's not. That's not Tunzatich. James Thresh has made it past Gregor Franke. I do not think Franke would be very pleased with that if he was caught up behind the back marker, but Thresh is not going to ask twice. He is gone. He is gone, and he's on to the next one. Meanwhile, Jack Lancaster and Smolinski once more. Lancaster has caught up with Smolinski. It's Aston Martin and Aston Martin. He looks left, he looks right, he looks left again, and he's chucking back in inside on the long right-hander. I think Smolinski got caught in his mirrors there. He got caught looking at his mirrors and ran very, very wide. He lets the 62 of Jack Lancaster through. He's going to have to tuck in. Oh, no. No, he's not. He's going to try and look up the inside, but I don't think there's anything doing right now, and he's going to tuck in and have to battle for that position another time. Well done with the pass, Lancaster. Very good pass. Meanwhile, Luca Renna and Domagoj Tonzitic. Tonzitic in the 46 Ferrari, Luca Renna in the number 4 Ferrari. Again, is manufacturer on manufacturer. I think Tonzitic is letting him through. I believe Tonzitic may have an issue because he's just let Luca Renna through, complete with indicators and all. Very composed driving from Tonzitic. I imagine he can only be pulling into the pits or something, but Luca Renna is not worried by that. He is gone. He has already had his pit stop. Tonzitic is going in for his pit stop right now, and now he's got Claire in front of him. Luca Renna does. Meanwhile, Marcus Deck, after his pit stop from pole position, trying to make his way back up the field, is already in P8. Sindri Ragnarsson in P7 has not pitted yet, and he's currently in front of him. Oh no, Smolinski's got to stop and go. Sindri Ragnarsson runs very wide. I do not know if he was given the position back or just lost his concentration in the corner, but Marcus Deck is gone. We know if he's in front of you, he's going to pull away from you, and Marcus Deck in the McLaren 720S is gone. He's on his way back to pole position if he can find it. And Sindri is still out on track. He has not pitted yet. Dominic Huber, who I believe has pitted as well, is quickly catching up to him, and Sindri runs wide. I think he's letting him through again. Yes, he is. He doesn't battle the position. 2 different races on, but he does the sensible thing and lets Huber through. He's going to have to come into pit very soon. He's going backwards to the cars that have already pitted. The 811 Mercedes looking a little scuffed up there. TWG Racing. Well done, Sindri. Keep going forward. Dominic Huber, meanwhile, on the charge for podium position if he can get it. Dan Lee's on lap 19 in the 42 Audi, chasing down Jan Stiffens. Oh, it's Lee's from Stiffens, from Hirsch. What's it going to be? Oh, he has to get hard on the brakes. He closed the gap very, very quickly into there. I think he may have an advantage in speed going through there, so he will have bookmarked that, and he will be coming back to that next time if he is ever stuck behind Dan Lees again. They're going up to the Mistral Straight, and I think both cars have just about enough pace to stay in front of each other as they are. On to lap 19, it's Robert Fordo and Rico Grenler. Robert Fordo in the Mercedes, no slipstream to help him. He's just waiting. There's not too much he can do. Rico Grenler pulls up alongside him. Rico's alongside him, going up to the right side. Oh, nope. Rico just tucks back in front of him. He's got the top line speed in that Lexus right now, and Robert Fordo falls back by 1. Robert Fordo down to P10, Grenler up to P9. Ooh, Fordo hard on the brakes. Had to take evasive action there. Stephen Carey, meanwhile, having a look at Wikowski on lap 19. I think Wikowski has just got past him, and Stephen Carey is going to have to try and find a way back again. Stephen Carey is stuck to his rear bumper right now, trying to see what's inside that rear wing. He's probably got advantage to the corners, but in straight line speed, he doesn't seem to have what it takes right now. The Porsche struggling a bit against some of those more gruntier cars on the straights, but Carey doing a very good job of holding his own. Approaching turn 1. We'll be back to that later if we can. Meanwhile, is lap 20 is Jokic and John Becker. It's Audi and Lamborghini, similar type cars. Look at this. John Becker, straight line speed. He's got the slipstream on Dejan Jokic. I think he's going to make this work. He's side by side as we approach. Oh, I think he's already in front. He's in front, approaching the corner. He is first to the corner. He's on the racing line already. There's not too much that Jokic can do about that. He tries to look up the inside, but Becker keeps it nice and composed in the 511 Lamborghini, and he's away. Also on lap 20, Oliver Nerba and Arturas. Arturas just runs up the inside. I think Oliver made a bit of a mistake, stuck looking in his mirrors. Remember, Medvedev was up in P2 and is now having to battle his way back from P31. He's currently in P30. I'm betting he's driving with a head of steam right now, trying to get claw back as many points as he can. He knows he has the pace on this field, so he will be banking on the next race, gets as many points here as he can, get even more points in the next race, and then he could be back up on the standings. Meanwhile, Dan Lees and Daniel Hirsch in the 77 Ferrari, Dan Lees in the 42 Audi. It's lap 21. The 42's having a look. Yeah, I think he's going to send it up the inside. He does. The 77 leaves him lots of space. Oh, but the 42 also misses the apex, shoves him out wide. He shoves him out wide. The Ferrari having to take to the escape routes to survive that contact, and he comes back in front. The 42 doesn't act too aggressively to keep the position. He tucks back in behind as he should, and I'm sure they'll have another chance to replay that. James Thresh with the leader behind him. James Thresh in P21 having a look at Phil Swiss and the Bentley in front of him. 187 Bentley, James Thresh in the Ferrari. Is he going to be able to go? Oh no, apologies. That's Voodoo. That's the teammate of the leader behind him. So it's Swiss, Thresh, Voodoo. Not too many Bentleys on the grid this time around, and Swiss looks like he's making it work. He's keeping it nice and wide in front of Thresh. Meanwhile, Robert Fordo and Jan Stevens fighting for position at the end of the Mistral once more. Robert Fordo is in front. Robert Fordo just about survives that scary moment. Oh no, Stevens is up the inside. Stevens misjudges his brake and totally makes contact going past, and then he has to ease up to let Fordo right back again. Fordo will be very happy to know that he can keep pace with a faster Lamborghini up the straight, and good driving there from Jan Stevens. Recognizes his mistakes, gives back Fordo the position, and I'm sure he'll be looking for a rerun when he can. Meanwhile, Agugliaros and Rico Grunler, apologies, Grunler, in the Lexus. Grunler's in the Lexus, in a 91 Lexus. He pulls on to the left side of Agugliaro. He's got slipstream of the 20 in front of him. Is he going to be able to get there before him? This Lexus looking very speedy down the straight. They're going to be side by side at the end of the Mistral. Nope. Rico Grunler's through. Rico Grunler's cleanly through. He's already onto the tail of the next Aston Martin in front of him. Looks like Hosh. Meanwhile, on lap 25 is Christian Zefal and Dejan Jokic. Christian Zefal's up on the inside. Cleanly through. Yep, it's the 2... Oh, no. The 74 comes back. No, the 237 is through. The 237 of Christian Zefal is through on Dejan Jokic. After the pit stops, everyone's being reshuffled once more, and Dami Ayo takes advantage of that in the background. As you can see, he's trying to make that through. Just about makes it stick, and... Oh, no. Dejan Jokic losing 2 positions for the price of 1 there. Meanwhile, Nino Hocha and Filippo having a look again on lap 25. Filippo Agugliaro having a very fantastic battle for up at the front of the pack. He's currently in P9. But it looks like he will not be able to make anything work on this particular time in lap 25. Nino Hocha in 20 is pulling away just about. In fact, he's got Grunler in his sights in front of him. The Lexus of Grunler, the 91. Nino Hocha cleanly in position. Nino Hocha up into P8. Domagoj Tunzetic on lap 27 having a look for No Hendricks in front. No Hendricks in the Mercedes on this Mistral straight. We know that he may be a sitting duck. I think Tunzetic is just about going to make it in the 46 Ferrari. He pulls up. He's alongside him. He's on the right. He's got the inside line for the next corner. And yep, Tunzetic is through. Tunzetic is through. He's up to P24. Good overtake there from Domagoj. No having to go backwards a bit representing South Africa, but we know that he has the pace overall. He'll try to find a way back when he can. Meanwhile, it's lap 28. Gregor Franca and Stephen Carey. Stephen Carey on the straight. Stephen Carey the lone Porsche. Stephen Carey the sitting duck. Apologies, comrade, you're going backwards. Gregor Franca stakes his claim. He's on the inside in Aston Martin, and I think he's even going to pull in front of him before the corner. Yep, there he goes. There he goes. Gregor Franca makes the move. He is up to P20, Stephen Carey in P21. Looks like Swiss is behind that pack right now. So Swiss in 22nd. Dami Ayo and John Becker jostling for position. Dami Ayo tries to look up the inside. Nothing doing there. Has to reset and go again. John Becker's first to the corner. And John Becker was wide. John Becker was wide. Dami Ayo is through. It looks like Jokic is trying to follow through as well in the background. Eugene trying to have a sniff as well in the other Mercedes. And John Becker just about keeps the position from from Jokic. Dami Ayo out in front. This is lap 29, getting to the sharper end of the field. There's only 2 laps left in the race. And by the time we get to lap 31, Marcus Deck is in front of the field. He has led from pole, a dominant performance from the McLaren. Not much that anyone could do to put him under pressure. His closest competition was wiped out. There he is. Marcus Deck is your leader and winner of the first race of Season 7, Tier 6, Apex Online Racing. What a race, people. What a race. I cannot wait for the rest of the season. After a very promising start to this season, our first pole position sitter is also our first winner, Marcus Deck in P1 with the McLaren 720S GT3. Huber is in P2, Fedotkin P3, Lancaster P4, Ben Hitchcock P5, Grenler P6, Nico Hoch P7, Alcugliero P8, Stephens P9, Fodor P10, Dan Lees P11, Dami Ayo P12, Dejan Jokic P13, Kulikov Eugene P14, Jan Becker P15, James Thresh P16, Claudio Voodoo P17, Franke P18, Wikowski 19, Carey in the lone Porsche P20, Swiss P21, Hirsch P22, Zifau P23, Tanzetic P24, Smolinski P25, Cinder Ragnarsson P26, Nico Hendricks P27, Nor Hendricks, apologies, P27, Arturas Medvedevas P28 after starting in P2. We'll be very disappointed with that. Nerb P29, Pren P30, Mari P31, Wango P32, Renner P33, also very disappointed for Renner, I believe he started in P3. Pablo Loro all the way in P34, I do not think he got to finish the race. Jackson also did not finish the race, only completing 9 laps. Taylor did not finish the race, I believe he was in P4 to start the race, so also fortunate for him, and was involved in that incident at the start with Medvedevas. Ogorodnikov P37 did not finish, did not seem to complete a lap either, neither did Rel or H. Now let's go see what that does for the standings. As you can imagine, the standings will reflect exactly the positions for the first race. As expected, the driver standings reflect the finishing positions today. Marcus Deck in P1, Dominic Huber P2, Alexander Fedotkin P3. As you can also see on the driver standings, there are license points in red. Those license points are accumulated throughout the season, and if you accumulate too many, you can either get a drive-through, stop and goes, or even a race ban. So it's always worth keeping a clean race, and the stewards are on top of what happens in these races. There are 43 drivers signed up in this series, or at least in this tier. 39 drove today. There's a lot to come. The next race is down at Donington in the wet. We know that drivers' abilities can change in the wet. I'm very much looking forward to it myself. And yeah, let's go have a look at what this does for the team standings. Now, while the teams are still being put together, currently the standings of Mr. Spino in the Porsche in P8. P7 is number 1 Deutsche Panzer Division. P6 is the Gentleman's Club. P5 PRS Motorsports. P4 TWG Racing. P3 Savannah Team. P2 Canon Motorsports. And P1 Team Hive Mind. The teams in red only have 1 drivers registered, and I encourage to find another driver before the 3rd race of the season, because by that point the teams will be locked in and they will be removed from the team standings. All drivers are obviously encouraged to find teammates. For this is the first season you can have a teammate that is not in the same car as you. So what I mean by that is you can have a Ferrari and a Lamborghini in the same team. So yeah, you're in tier 6. Go out, find a teammate, because the team championship is very much worth the battle as well. Looking forward to seeing you all next week. Thank you very much for joining us. Let's hope for an even better race next time out. Take care, you people.